Hey, Wonderhussy here. It's real early in the morning, and it's really quiet because I'm in a really remote wilderness section of Death Valley, way up in the northern part of Death Valley. It's the Eureka sand dunes. Man, I've been wanting to come here for a long time because, well, I love sand dunes. You know, I went all the way to Namibia in Africa to hike the tallest dune in the world. I've been to the Kelso dunes, I've been to the Ibex dunes. Boy, I've been to some dunes, but I've never been to these dunes. So I camped here at the base of the dune field last night. They kind of have a, well, what passes for a campground down here. I guess it's basically just a vault toilet and some picnic tables and some fire rings. But I'm shooting this on March 26th, I think, 2020. We're right in the middle of the coronavirus pandemic. So all the facilities in Death Valley are closed, which means that toilet is closed. Campground's still open. Even though we're in California, and California does have a shelter-in-place thing enacted where I think it's actually a misdemeanor to leave your home for anything except essential travel. Well, I'm not a California resident. I got Nevada plates. And Death Valley is open. I checked their website and they said you can come camp here. You just have to, you know, practice social distancing. And let me tell you something. There ain't no better place on earth to practice social distancing. I mean, am I right? Ain't nobody around. I mean, there's one other car parked way over there. I don't know if you can see that. And then over on this side, this is the road that goes over Steel Pass to Saline Valley. Not sure you can see, but there's a couple rigs parked way off there in the distance, and they look like they've been here a while. But, I mean, there's what, like a mile between each of us? Talk about social distancing. This is the ideal place for it. And, oh, God, what a beautiful morning. I mean, I woke up much earlier. It was like, well, I woke up at 5 because I went to bed so dang early. I rolled in last night, and it was real windy and nasty, so unfortunately I didn't shoot any footage, and I just kind of, like, ate dinner and hunkered up in my car, and I went to bed at 8 o'clock. So I woke up super early, and it rained overnight. I woke up and heard it raining, and I thought, oh, no. This is going to be terrible. First of all, these dunes here are known as booming dunes. There's certain sand dune fields all over the world that make like this low frequency booming noise when you slide down them because the grains of sand are made out of some kind of, I don't know, particular silica or something that when they rub together, it goes like a didgeridoo. Supposedly those dunes in Namibia that I hiked did that, and you can watch that video if you're interested. I kind of got some of it on film. And same with the dunes in Kelso in the Mojave Preserve. I've also captured the sound there, sort of. Anyway, these dunes here are supposed to do the same thing, but when they're wet, it doesn't do it. So since it rained last night, I'm not going to be able to do any booming noises, but that's okay, man, because the rain also, check this out, the rain also brought snow to these mountains here. It's nippy out this morning, but I made myself a cup of coffee and I'm gonna, well, I guess I'm gonna see if I can hike all the way to the top of the tallest dune. Now it's interesting because these dunes are a wilderness area and they say no dogs are allowed out here, no pets, but there's a lot of footprints in the sand here, and I guess these could just be coyotes. I'm sure there's coyotes out here. Look at that. Some of these prints are pretty good sized. But I think a coyote footprint is long and skinny like that, whereas a dog's footprint is more rounded. So these are probably coyote footprints, I guess. They're all over the place, man. These little guys must have been running all around my car last night while I was sleeping. How cute. Boy, these footprints also kind of remind me of when I was in Namibia. My friend and I camped in a sandy area on the Skeleton Coast where there's desert lions. And I'm pretty sure we saw lion paw prints in the sand. Talk about a yikers moment. You know, get up to pee in the middle of the night. It's one thing to have a bunch of coyotes running around. It's another thing to have lions, okay? Whew. All right, man, I've hiked pretty far up here, but actually the hiking is, well, it's a lot easier because the sand is wet. It's a lot firmer. Normally when you hike up sand dunes, you know, for every step you take, you slide back another half a step. Well, this stuff is so hard packed. Whew, it's pretty nice. You can almost roller skate on it. But it's really interesting because, you know, from the rain, the surface of the dune, well, they're pretty smooth, and then you can kind of see, well, if you look up close, I guess those are little tiny impressions made by raindrops. And then there's also those really cool wavy lines from the wind, all kinds of cool patterns in the sand. But what I thought was really interesting are these patterns here. I guess this was made by rain. Like, I don't know if you can even tell, but we're kind of standing up along a ridge, but there's sort of like a little bowl here, like where it looks like maybe water pooled up when it rained. And there's some pretty interesting markings on the sand. At first I thought, oh, somebody was up here and dug a hole, but no, that's all natural. Just happened from rain, I guess. And then look over here. This is really dramatic. On that other slope, it looks like, I would guess that that was a bunch of sand got wet maybe and fell down and dragged those lines. I don't know. Okay, so my original plan was to try to hike all the way up to that highest ridge line there, but I think, and this is amazing, that there might be somebody camped up there. I'll use my crummy digital zoom. Maybe you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. There's some little shapes up there, and I think it's people because they look like they were standing up earlier. Wow, can you imagine any place cooler to camp? That's like right out of Lawrence of Arabia. In fact, it reminds me of, I went to the Great Sand Dunes National Park in Colorado once, and I made a video, but it was before I was really into making videos, so it's pretty poor quality, be advised. But there's a big dune field out there. They're not as tall as these, I don't think, but it's a pretty big dune field. And you can get a wilderness permit to go, you know, camp out in the dunes. And my friend that I was with, well, he said we should do it. And I was like, oh, that'd be amazing. I'd love to camp out in the dunes, just like nomad style. You know, just have to, it'd be work to get up there. You gotta bring all your, well, I'd want to bring firewood because I'd want to have a lot of fire up there and water and, you know, all your supplies. Unfortunately, we never got around to it in the sand dune park in Colorado, but holy moly, what a place to camp. Look here on the side of the slope. This is interesting. The way this, well, it almost created like a little mini dune on top of a dune. I don't know what would have caused the sand to do that, but it's pretty cool. Wow, look at these plants just growing right up through the sand. Like, I can't imagine that there's that many nutrients in here, but somehow these little guys, these tumbleweed bushes, are growing out of here. Or they were. I don't know if these are dead or what. And then look up here. Almost looks like these are like some reeds. And these definitely look still alive. They look like they're about to bloom, in fact. Look at that. Holy cannoli. See that little green thing on the top? That's going to come out like in some kind of leaves. And it's growing straight out of the friggin' sand. We'll all be a monkey's uncle. That just goes to show that, well, determination. This should be one of those motivational posters where it says like, determination, pass it on, something like that. But that is like a metaphor for, well, the way I feel a lot of the time. I made it to the top. Oh my god. Man, I really feel like I'm on top of the world. Look at this friggin' view. Let me give you guys a panorama. Okay, so that's, I think, the Last Chance Range mountains. And then the road I came on out of Death Valley came right out of those mountains, down that slope. And then you can probably see the spur that leads out here to the dunes. It's the road I took down here. Over yonder is the Sierras. The Sierra, actually, I think it's incorrect to say Sierras. And then look, that's Steel Pass. That goes into Saline Valley, where those awesome hot springs are. Oh man, I sure would love a soak in those hot springs right about now. But I'm not gonna go that way for 3 reasons. One, it's supposed to be a really gnarly pass, and I'm traveling by myself. 2, I don't think I have enough gas to get into Saline Valley and back out. And 3, Saline Valley hot springs are closed. I just saw on the website where, because of the virus, I guess a lot of people were hunkered down at Saline to like wait out the epidemic or the pandemic. It's a great place to do so, but the Park Service made the caretaker drain all the pools. So no saline springs for me today. Instead, I think I'm just gonna, well, I'm gonna find myself a nice spot to sit down up here and drink my morning coffee. I gotta be real careful not to drop my thermos, because can you imagine if it went rolling down this friggin' dune face and I had to go all the way down to get it and then come all the way back up? Yikes, no way. Man, I can't think of any better place to drink morning coffee than on top of a sand dune overlooking snowy Steel Pass. Cheers to you wherever you're drinking your coffee, or whatever you're drinking. All right, I got a little chilly sitting up here because, you know, the wind is hitting me. It's not that windy, thank goodness, but still got chilly and had to bundle up. But now I think it's time to, well, hike back down. And it took me about, well, it's hard to say because I stopped to take photos and goof around on the way up, but it probably took about 45 minutes to get up here. I'm curious to see how much faster it'll be getting down, because I can just slide on down the old-fashioned way on the old rumperoo. Okay, so we're up here and the car is, I don't even know if you can see it, but over there. So the fastest way, I mean, I guess I can just scoot down this face here and then kind of come back the way I went. So I'm just gonna go, well, here I am. I'm just gonna go down here, and I gotta be careful because it is steep and I don't want to take a tumble. Whoa! I need a cardboard box. I don't really want to sit on my butt because I'll get sand in my chonies, you know what I mean? So I think I'm just gonna do the old sideways scoot. Ah, screw it, you know, maybe I should try to slide down. It's just like the sand is so cold and so wet. Ah! Sometimes you gotta risk getting a little sand in your chonies, you know what I mean? If you've never heard that term chonies, by the way, it's like, I guess, Hispanic American slang for underwear. Cholo speak for panties. Ah! Whee! See, right around now is where you should be hearing that. Boo! But unfortunately, all you're hearing is the sound of my dulcet tones babbling away. Man, this is bringing me right back to Sausesvlei in Namibia. I did the same thing there. Wow, what a small world. From one hemisphere to the next. Wonderhussy. Whee! Oh wow, man, it took so long for me to hike that that I just slid down in like 2 seconds. Oh, I mean, this sand is pretty hard packed. Whoa, like I'm actually sliding. I'm not sliding on my own. I do have to pull myself along with my legs. Whee! Here, I'll give you guys a POV so you can see what I'm seeing. Whee! Fun, good times. Like I said, a cardboard box, and I'd probably break my neck. Yikes. Oh wow, I did get it to where I could slide a little bit without moving. Not much though. Guess I weigh a little bit too much. Woo! I'm gonna try getting up for a while. My butt is really cold from that wet sand. Dang, look at that trough carved by my sweet cheeks. They call it the ditch digger. Okay, hiking along back to the car, I spotted this tiny, tiny little feller that's trying to grow out of the sand. Look at this guy. This will be motivation. Okay, I don't even know if you can see, but look at that. That's a little tiny, let me get up close. Little tiny green guy growing out of this friggin' sand. Look at the massive scale of the landscape behind him. And then there he is, just trying to live his little life. Hey, little feller, I won't hurt you. Oh my god, it's so cool because if you look at it, it's got these little purple colors at the very base. I wonder what it's gonna grow up to be. One of those tumbleweeds? Who knows? All I can say is, grow in peace, little feller. Grow big, grow strong, and don't let the bastards get you down. Uh-oh, I shouldn't have laid down like this. Sun's on me. It's nice and warm. I feel like it's nap time. No, I gotta get up. I got more places to go, more videos to shoot, and more adventures to have. Onward. The quest of the hussy is a long one and a lonely one. Oh wow, I don't know if you can see that van driving down in the distance there. I think that was those people that, well, I thought they were camped up top. Maybe they just hiked up there, who knows? But what's really interesting is they just drove by my campsite, and I left a bunch of stuff outside my car, which I don't normally do, but like my Max tracks, recovery tracks for if you get stuck in mud, and my GoPro plugged into a pretty expensive battery bank because I wanted to shoot a time lapse of me hiking up the dunes. Basically, I left a bunch of expensive gear outside my car, sort of hoping that people out here would be cool, and well, that van just kept on rolling and didn't stop to steal any of my stuff. So hey, looks like I made the right call. Okay, wow, look at these streaks. I'm guessing this was caused by it was real windy yesterday, and the water, I'm not sure. It's pretty cool though. I've never seen anything like that. That almost looks like the lines you see in rocks, or like, well, I don't know if you'll be able to see in the mountains there. Those layers of, I guess that's like layers of sediment or whatever in the mountains. It's like the very early stages of that. Wow, man, nature is a trip. Here's some cool marks too. It looks like this is where the sand was really wet and now it's drying. I guess those rings are the different wetnesses of sand. Like the dark stuff is where it's still pretty damp. I don't know what would cause water to pool up like this, though, like right on the slope. It's really interesting. Gee, that's one thing this adventure is driving home. The fact that I know very little about sand dunes. But hey, I'm willing to learn. Woo! We made it back down to the old car, and you can see I got my battery pack and my GoPro plugged in, and then I had my Max tracks laid out to dry off because they got wet overnight. Let's see how long it took. 10:06. Huh, well, actually I forgot to check the exact time that I left the top, but I feel like it was about 9:30, and again, I dilly-dallied a bit on the way back, so I don't know, it wasn't that big of a time differential, oddly. Hey, who cares? The important thing is, it was fun, I got fresh air and exercise, and gosh, my mood is a lot better. You know, to be honest, I was kind of bummed when I got here yesterday, because it was cold and windy, and then I woke up in the middle of the night and heard it raining, and I went, oh man, what am I doing out here? But let me tell you something. I feel amazing now. That's what nature will do for you. Anyway, I'm gonna get in my rig and drive someplace where there's cell signal so I can figure out where I wanna go next. Okay, hold everything. I was leaving on my way out here. I stopped to take a picture of the sign on the restroom that shows that it's closed because of COVID-19. And there's also a really interesting informational sign here. Check this out. Couple things mentioned here that I didn't realize. Apparently there's 3 plants and 5 beetles that have their range limited to these dunes. They're found nowhere else in the world. Wow, I had no idea. 3 plants and 5 different species of beetles. I didn't see any beetles here, but gosh, I guess some of the plants I saw are found nowhere else but in this sand dune field. That's pretty special. Then, unfortunately I didn't capture this on video, but gosh, we're near where the fighter jets come out and do that low-level, it's like a low-level flight corridor. You see them at Saline Hot Springs all the time. They come down and buzz you. Well, as I was packing up my car, oh my god, it was amazing. This friggin' jet came from yonder, blazing through this valley, and then it turned sideways and went between the mountains and the dune there, like something out of friggin' Star Wars. It was unreal. And I did kind of loiter around waiting to see if another guy would follow him so I could get that on film, but unfortunately I was too slow. But there's one more thing here that is even more interesting. So I went over here, like I said, just to show that this is closed because of friggin', it says help limit the spread of the coronavirus, and then it gives you some tips on, you know, what you're supposed to do. And then over here, I thought, well, let me go look at the old message board. It just says the usual stuff about, well, it's a wilderness area, so you're not allowed to go off-roading here, no drones, no shooting. Oh wait, look, here comes one of those planes. You can hear it. Where is it? It's coming. We gotta be sharp, dude. Where is it? Look. There it is. Whoa! Stop it! imagine how much fun that friggin' pilot is having? Yeah, meanwhile, everybody else is laid off or unemployed right now, but he's enjoying our taxpayer dollars. Wow, that was incredible. Anyways, what I was about to show you, it's like the usual restrictions, no camping, and I guess you're not allowed to camp in the dunes, no pets, no horseback riding. Oh, you're not allowed to sandboard here apparently, that's interesting. And you're not allowed to use drones, which is kind of a bummer because I just got a drone and I was looking forward to trying it out, but whatever, it's a national park, I know how it is. But then I went around to look on the back because, oh yeah, too, there's this little message somebody left. Look at this. It's cut out like a heart shape and it says, Seneca, we're just 1/2 mile down the road. See you soon. And then I go, well, let me look around on the back. Well, on the back, it's you're supposed to put your messages here. Look what's written on this friggin' message board. Holy cannoli, yikes. The only thing I can think is that van that left earlier, that I think hiked up to the top of the dune before I did. Obviously they weren't camping up there because you're not allowed to. They must have recognized my rig and wrote this here because there's no way, no one knows I'm here except for Barry, the Australian beast, and he sure didn't drive all the way out here to write that. Unless somebody wrote it, you know, weeks ago just expecting me to show up, months ago. I don't think so. I think it had to be those people in that van. Hey, listen, if you guys are watching this video, holler at me, comment below, or send me an email. That is amazing. Hope you guys had as good a time at the dunes as I did. Okay, I just had to go back to my car and see if I had a marker so that I could answer these people. I said, yep, hi, smiley face. Okay, wow, I am really glad I stopped off to shoot that friggin' sign on the restroom. I mean, if I hadn't stopped, well, I wouldn't have found out about those 5 plants and 3 beetles, or vice versa. I wouldn't have seen that jet flying overhead, and I wouldn't have seen that message to myself. Wow, that just goes to show you should always go stop and smell the roses, or in this case, stop to take pictures of the toilet. Anyways, this time I'm really getting in my rig, and boy, I can't wait to see what happens next. Stay tuned.